Caitlin Clark showed a unique quality from her first collegiate game: the ability to manage the game's pace and scoreboard. I didn't learn this on the spot. She had it in her DNA from birth. She played at an unrelenting speed. She had perfected the transition method during her Amateur Athletic Union (AOU) days, when she was able to convert rapid breaks into easy assists with quick judgments and keen vision. Her style didn't need to alter when she arrived in Iowa. Speed, space, and maintaining many shooters on the floor were the Hawkeyes' main strengths. Basketball was made to play to her abilities. Coach Bluer had painstakingly created the ideal atmosphere, which had 4 shooters, a powerful post presence that seldom missed, and a system where each player understood their position. Drills were not the only thing practiced. They focused on accuracy, repetition, and mutual comprehension. Everyone was well aware of their location and what to do. Caitlin joked that it was like brainwashing. Not in the literal sense, but in the sense that all motions became automatic.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have like always talk about when we go and watch film, and even like that New York game where like I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game. It's just this last game this year. I started the fourth quarter off with like 3 turnovers in a row or 2 turnovers in a row, and Steph yanked me, and she was like this is like a learning moment. It could have been there, like maybe you could have thrown a little bit better of a pass, maybe they could have caught it, but like, do we need that in this moment? Like, no. Right. And then she subbed me back in. I think it's just like kind of a learning process, and it goes back to like even my shot thing. Like, it's just time, score, and understanding. I think that's like where I can still kind of improve. Like, do we really need that like sequence of a game? Like, have we just scored twice, or have we just missed 2 shots in a row? And that's something that like isn't probably always talked about, but like I can find confidence in that. But I think the risk assessment thing, like maybe it's a toxic part of me, but I always think it's gonna go well. And then I throw it and it doesn't go well.
Honestly, a little delusion is nice.
Yeah, I definitely have some delusion.
In order to be great,
for sure.
You have to have it.
For sure, I definitely have some delusion. And all the good players have delusion.
Yes.
Like, that's just true. The truth. Like, be able to see the game like happen before it does happen. Like, you can't teach someone that. That's kind of just like a skill you get. And I think that kind of just goes back to like your IQ of the game. And I think a lot of that comes from like you're just watching basketball and like being around the game and loving the game.
Are there other players in the WNBA that like when you watch them, you're like, oh, they have that same feel?
I think Sabrina, and like even watching her throughout college, because like when I was in, high school, like she was one of my favorite players, because she at the time she was like the person in college. Like that was just my time period. Like her Oregon teams were amazing.
Yeah.
I think Sabrina. Skylar.
Yeah. Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, honestly, Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah.
Like for a post player?
Absolutely, yeah.
Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah, Aaliyah.
She's becoming like a really good
post
playmaker.
passer, best post playmaker for sure in the league. I think also like I play with good teammates. Like I play with really good cutters. Even in college, like Kate was a great cutter. Like I had people on my team that were good cutters. Like and now Kelsey. It was kind of a balance, but also like when I played for my AAU team, all Iowa Attack, like we played that same manner of how I played at Iowa. Like we played fast, we played up tempo. So for me, like I wasn't changing my game when I got to college. Like it was very similar. Like all Iowa Attack, like we're known to have like 5 shooters on the floor at all time. Like we played with really good floor spacing, and at Iowa it was the same way. Like 4 people were on the floor that could shoot at the same time. And then obviously we usually played with a true post, but they rarely missed too. Like Mon never missed. Like Hannah Stolke was tremendous when I was there too. And even our backup post players, like I always think about like how Coach Bluter like ran practices and things, and like I'm very fortunate looking back and like now going to like watch other colleges practices and things like that. Like she really like was so intentional about like making sure everyone was on the same page and like knew what they were doing and knew their role. In a way, like when I talk to people about it, I like joke like she brainwashed people, not like actually, but like
no, part
you
of
like
it is a
we're
little
like
bit of
brainwashed into like okay, if you drive here, like you're going here and you're going here, and like even now at the professional level, I'm like, how do people not know like where to move? Like it blows my mind still. Like, but I think it just makes me like really appreciative of like what Coach Bluter was able to do when we were at Iowa. Like she was so smart. She was able to like construct the team and make sure everyone always knew what they were going to do, whether you were the smartest basketball player on the team or you weren't. Like you were always on the same page with your team.
Her passing game was developed on that basis. Making safe bets wasn't the only thing at stake. Caitlin was prepared to take chances, even if it meant a few turnovers. Before the lanes opened, she could see them passing. And before the defender could even respond, she had a flair for initiating the break herself by rushing the boards, collecting a defensive rebound, and driving the ball uphill. Of course, having outstanding coworkers makes it simpler to demonstrate your extraordinary vision. Kate, who always appeared to be at the perfect spot, was one of her cutters in college. She is now surrounded by athletes like Sophie, Lexi, and Kelsey in the professional ranks. Athletes having the ability to outpace a defender with speed or a well-timed cut. Caitlin found that when everyone was moving in unison, the game flowed the best. Caitlin's game included more physical strength than most people believed. The same power that propelled her vast shooting range, where a half-court shot seemed as natural as a free throw, also enabled her to make passes that others would not try. Caitlin just made her standard form shot at the conclusion of shots, when other players had to toss the ball from half-court. No desperate throw, no sprinting start, simply a typical release driven by her core and legs. Passing, she felt, was half talent and part art. Repetition, video analysis, and a deliberate emphasis on giving teammates chances might teach you half of it. It is impossible to teach the other half, which was instinctive and included seeing the game 2 steps ahead and anticipating action before it occurred. It results from spending years immersed in the game, enjoying it, and assimilating it until it comes naturally. Caitlin saw the similar fleeting vibe in a couple other WNBA players. Players that commanded the floor and made every possession unpredictable were Skylar Diggins-Smith and Sabrina Ionescu. She has a long list of names. The court awareness of Chelsea Gray, the playmaking skills of Alyssa Thomas as a forward, and the floor vision of A.A. Wilson. However, Caitlin was quick to declare Aaliyah Boston the league's finest passer and a genuine playmaker from the paint when it came to post players. Considerable passing of all entails considerable danger, and Caitlin has never shied away from taking those risks. A prime example is her WNBA debut, a game she will always remember even if she now laughs about it. The evening was filled with tension, excitement, and great hopes, and it ended with a memorable statistic. 10 turnovers. She nonetheless concluded with a double-double, 20 points, and a number of incredible moves. Nevertheless, she later expressed regret, not because she felt guilty about taking chances, but rather because she realized how important each item was. She knew how important every property was, not because she was ashamed to take chances. In fact, Caitlin had already visited this location. Games with a high turnover rate were not new. She jokingly made a joke about perhaps having the most career turnovers in NCAA history. She won't hide from it, but she won't boast about it either. That's just the way she is. Pushing the boundaries, threading impossible passes, and coping with the errors that come with excellence. Turnovers were just the price Caitlin paid for striving for excellence. She was aware that she could improve her ball protection skills. Although she was becoming better, she was still prone to taking risks. Her patience was put to the test this season in unexpected ways. Her rhythm was broken by stop-and-go intervals, short sets, and extended absences from the lineup. She played some of her sharpest basketball when she got back. She had more influence over the game, the pace, and her teammates than ever before, even when her shot wasn't falling. In particular, late-game scenarios became a source of pride. She was becoming more adept at reading the floor, knowing when to push and when to calm down, and knowing how to play well under duress. She is aware of growth, even if it doesn't always appear in the box score. Nevertheless, she chuckled at herself. She would acknowledge that it could be a little harmful. However, I always believe the pass will be successful. It became a highlight at times. It was a changeover at times. She could live with it either way. She felt that greatness required a little bit of illusion. Every top player has it. That unwavering feeling they're the greatest on the court, even when the scoreboard disagrees. Being confident is a must, not a choice. She even discussed it with teammates like Steph while they were watching the tape after significant performances. Even though she scored a lot of points in those games, her court presence and decision-making were what really stood out. Caitlin was on track for another incredible stat line in one of her last games of the season. Although there were already 9 or 10 assists recorded, the fourth quarter started off badly. She was removed from the game after 2 consecutive turnovers. The coach didn't shout at her. It turned into a teaching moment instead. The pass may have been successful, yes. Yes, it may have been caught by the teammate. However, it was just one aspect of the issue. Was that play necessary at that time? The response was emphatically no this time. She was back inside a few minutes later. At that point, the lesson became clear. She noticed Kelsey Mitchell running down the middle after getting a steal, and pushing the ball up the floor. Despite the proximity of two defenders, the urge to thread the ball was too great. Her gut told her, go for it. Instead, she glanced to the sideline and smiled while pulling the ball back out. You have no idea how hard it was for me not to throw that, she said to her coach. Everyone on the bench understood her meaning. It involved real-time development and learning to strike a balance between patience and instinct. Use clever plays to highlight plays. It all came down to time, scoring, and feel for Caitlin. It was as vital to know when to take the risk as it was to be able to do so. She acknowledged that she will constantly continue to improve in that area. There is more to Caitlin Clark's tale than simply her ability to score, pass, and see. It's about growth, the unwavering determination of a player who, even at the pinnacle, never stops learning. She takes chances, plays with fire, and continues to change. Because the finest parts of her narrative are yet to come. The finest episodes are yet to come. So if you like inside tales like this, press subscribe to ensure you never miss what comes next.